What's up, y'all? Welcome back. In this lesson, we're gonna learn how to play the song Key to the Highway by Big Bill Broonzy. This is his version of the song. We're gonna talk about all 4 parts of the song. We're gonna learn all that stuff today using my method of progressions, where you start with an easy thing first, building it up from there. So we're starting with the chords of the verse, and let's jump right in. So this is a really famous 8-bar blues song. So we're following a standard 8-bar blues progression. In the key of E, it's gonna go like this. E, we're gonna use this grip first here. So E here, 2, 3, and then we're gonna go to this B7 over A, which looks like this. Then down to A7, just sliding that down. We're doing A7 twice. Okay, then regular E, okay, then to B7, he slides that up. E, turn around. Okay, so those are the chords. Let's add the rhythms now. So if you know those chord grips, adding the rhythms is not really that hard. So basically what he's doing on the first measure, check it out, he does this. Okay, let's just measure 1. Notice the little slide marks in there? And we're sliding into that chord. Then we're hitting this B note here, and then going into this B7 over A pattern. Over the B7 in measure 2, he's doing this. 1, okay, so there's triplets. So we're going back and forth between this and this. So we're going back and forth. 2 and 3 and 4. Okay, and then we have a little cheater strum or filler strum there where we're hitting just the open strings going into measure 3 of the A chord. Now when he gets to this part, he just chugs away on the A chord like this. Okay, he's singing along with that. Okay, now he does the same thing over the E on the next measure. Now when he gets to the B7, he does this pattern. B7 for 2 beats, and then he slides it up to the C sharp 7. It's a really weird kind of voicing. It's like C sharp 7 with this B note in there. And he's just sliding the B7 chord up like that. 3, 4, and 1. Okay, so the way that the tab looks there, we have. Okay, and then the last 2 bars, we're doing a little turnaround phrase. Okay, so here we go E, and then go into this E7 shape here, alternating back to the E. Okay, and then go into this shape here on E. Okay, and then go into like a partial B7 chord where it just had 2-0-2 like that. Then back to an E, and then the last part goes 4-2-2, and then strum that B7 for the last 4 beats. Last 2 measures, I'm gonna play them in a row. So now that you know the verse pattern, let's back it up and do that intro. The reason we're doing the intro second is because it's actually a turnaround phrase from the verse. So it's not exactly the same as the turnaround from the rest of the song, but it's very, very similar, and let's jump into it now. So first we start with this kind of B7 chord. And this is a weird B7, right? Because it's a B7 over A. So you think about it as like an A7 chord, like right here, just shot up 2 frets. And we're starting on the 4th fret of that D string, going 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and, okay? One thing he does, he's most of the time plucking just with 1 finger like this. So you can go like okay, now I try to mix it up. Sometimes I'll hit 2 fingers, sometimes I'll use 1 finger. I just like the different variations on that. Most of the time he's using just 1 finger. So for you guys, just pick what feels best for you and stick with that. Okay, measure 2 starts with the A chord. Okay, and then this big phrase. 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and. Okay, so we got some weird stuff in there. Basically, this is the ornaments that he's using over the A7 chord throughout. So we have A7 here, okay, and then he's going this 3rd fret, 2nd fret, and then down to this 5th fret. And you can see that every one of these notes is harmonized with the note below it in the A major grip. So if we're just gripping like this, and then you're kind of plucking with 1 finger like this, you're gonna naturally catch that other note. So don't sweat getting those notes exactly right. Just kind of try to do this okay, kind of like that. So you're kind of just grazing across those strings, and that makes the best sound for that. Now the last little note there, you'll notice is a little trill. Okay, so we're doing a little kind of twice like that. Okay, and you can also just do it once, kind of like that. That sounds good too. Don't try to squeeze in more than 2. It's going to be too much. If you try to do that, that would just be, it's too much. Measure 3, start with a grace note. Hammering on, so plucking these 2 strings, hammer on first fret on the G string. Okay, then to the, roll it up to the high E string. Then we're going to do that turnaround. Okay, you know, get the basics on this stuff, guys. Don't worry so much about the notes. Just know the ornaments that he uses. Okay, and then play around with that. You can make it your own just by playing around with those different notes. The original is at 105 to 110. You know, he's varying the tempo slightly. Let's slow it down to 60. That's that solo, kind of the full speed. Let's kind of break it apart. It's starting the same, the chords are the same. He's just adding a little bit extra on the first measure. He's adding a couple hits on the finger. So he's sliding in and he goes 1 and 2 and 3 and 4. Okay, and then we're going to this B7 chord, just like from before, B7 over A, except he's gonna lead it with this 6th fret here, like this. Okay, we're going and 1 and then he plays this little triplet. 1 and 2 and 3 and 4. Okay, let me put those 2 measures together. 1 and 2 and 3 and 4. Triple it, triple it. And now measure 3 is gonna go like this. Okay, now measure 3 and 4. It's basically, remember we talked about this. Those are the ornaments that he's adding over this A chord. So in this phrasing, he goes like this: 1 and 2 and 3 and a little trill at the end. Okay, and then an E string. 4th measure will go. Okay, going into the next measure, hammering on, then sliding down. The 2nd string, 3, 2, open like that. Okay, so all together. Okay, and then walking up to the B7. Give it a nice good hit on that, so you can, so it makes it nice and loud. Okay, this is where he's starting to add some of those weird measures. So he starts with this phrase after you do that walk up. Let's do that whole thing really slow with the metronome. That's 60. 2, 3, 4. So that's how he plays the solo. Now, at the very beginning of this lesson, at the very, very start, I opened it with a shortened solo. I took out that extra measure that he's adding when he plays his solo. So if you want to check out the way that I would play this, and the way that honestly I would recommend for anybody to play it, to go back to the beginning and check out that opening example that I played with the tabs on the screen. And there you can see how I've shortened it down, still keeping it very authentic to his style. The last little bit for today is just the outro. So the outro he plays, basically it's the kind of the same type turnaround, but instead of ending on a B7, he's going to end on an E to kind of let the audience know that he's finishing it up. So it goes like this. Very similar to the beginning phrases, but he's just ending on an E there, okay? Lastly, I want to tell you the order of how he plays everything. We talked about all these things in different orders. So he plays it like this. He goes intro, verse 1, verse 2, verse 3 to the solo. That's 5 rounds. And then he does verse 4, verse 5, and then verse 6, the 8th kind of round through. Verse 6, he's going to play with an outro. That's how he plays it. If you want to sing along and play it like that, okay? If you're just playing it as a solo piece, play that shortened performance that I played right at the very beginning of this video. That's going to give you a intro and basically right into the solo. And then after that, if you wanted to make it longer, just add verse, verse, verse. Now, I'd also recommend to keep it improvisational. Don't try to get it exactly like it's written. If you want to play it exactly like he plays it, play it as written. But you're going to get a lot more out of it if you just learn to take some of these riffs and some of the ornaments that he does and then make them your own and play it your way. In a month from now, you're not going to remember all the exact notes that he's playing in the exact order, most likely. You're going to remember it generally and play it your way. And that's the way that you're going to have the most fun with this song, and that's how I recommend to learn it. So thank you so much for watching this, and I'll see you guys on the next one.